everyone. So today, the lesson plan that I chose for the 5E lesson plan was the modeling light and shadows. Um, my lesson plan revolved around the concept of teaching students how shadows emerge and how clearing up any misconceptions that they have about shadows. Going further into the lesson is for K through 4th graders, and students will be able to understand how shadows are formed and explain how light plays a part in creating shadows along with the time of day. So, what students don't realize is, or some students don't realize before starting this lesson, is that shadows change throughout the day and depending on the time. So, that's something that the students will get to kind of explore. For the engaging portion of this lesson, the teacher will set up a lamp so that it's plugged in and shining against a white wall or screen, or in this case, on the picture below, concrete. And they will ask students questions that will kind of get them to activate prior knowledge. And the teacher will ask them questions like, what will happen if you place your body between the wall screen and the lamp. And the picture below, students measured their shadows using the materials. In this case, the sidewalk chalk was used to outline their body shadows, and then all of this information was recorded in their journals. Then this kind of led more into the exploring process of the assignment. Students were able to assemble the following materials and use the cubes, the measuring tape, the flashlights to test or kind of evaluate the shadows that were being made. They all shared their stories with their group members. So anything that they wrote down about their observations, they were talked about in the group, and teachers were to move from group to group, kind of making sure that the students were understanding the project. For the explanation part, the teachers introduced the academic language of light and shadows. So the vocabulary terms that were used were light, emission, reflection, energy, and opaque. These terms help the students connect the hands-on modeling experience with the science terms. So students were able to kind of know what these words meant when playing a part in the shadows. And then the elaboration part, the teachers told the students their challenge would be to create shadows, and by asking the students questions, they had them practice hands-on activities using light and shadows, and then by introducing the vocabulary, students were able to build relationship between ideas and making connections with models. This knowledge was kind of applied in our daily lives because we typically judge objects by the way their shadows look, and this kind of elaborated further into those shadows. And what we see for the evaluation portion, it was to demonstrate that students have achieved the lesson objective by working with one another to go over the vocabulary terms and making sure that they were able to match the term to the vocabulary word, and the students would go on and on until they got each term correct and they matched it with the definition. I feel like overall this lesson was very informative when it comes to shadows, and I never did any lessons or activities with shadows and lights before when I was in school, so this lesson plan really caught my attention and I felt would be perfect